Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brill. If this is the first time you've been in one of my live streams, my name is I just said that. My name is Brill. And what I do simply is on this page is I create pedestal wives. So let's talk about using feminine power to utilize soft power. First of all, before we go into let's talk about what that is, because a lot of you might be aware of hard power. Power is represented very well in the world. It's our CEOs, it's our masculine men, it's that masculine energy. So let's go ahead and let me explain the difference between hard power and soft power. And then we're gonna get into how to utilize soft power in your everyday life. First of all, soft power is indirect. Hard power is direct. If you want to differentiate between those two terms, I would say this is how you would do so. Hard power is fighting fire with fire. Soft power is catching more flies with honey than vinegar. Both of them have their uses. Both of them have a place in society, in the world that we currently live in. But I truly do believe that women are underutilizing soft power, not recognizing its greatness, not recognizing the feminine power that you have access to that on a day-to-day basis. So let's talk about what that looks like. Using soft power for a woman is influence. You do not know how powerful influence is. Even currently, right now, I am influencing. Even on maybe a smaller scale than people who have more followers and more subscribers. But on a small scale, I am influencing. And it is a soft power skill that you can use yourself. Just think about it. The people that you hang around, the people that you spend your time with, the places that you go, if you go and listen to certain live streams, read certain books, hang around certain friends, you tend to start picking up certain ideas. And how do you know you've been influenced? It's because even when you're not with those people, you start to pick up their vocabulary, their verbiage. You start seeing things in the way that they would say it, or you start using the vocabulary that they use on a day-to-day basis. This is influence. Women have influence, and this is a power skill that we need to make sure that we're utilizing. The next skill is likability and likability and reliability is important. This is another power skill that women have, and they underutilize. They don't realize how powerful it is to be able to connect, make connections, to create communities, to create a sense of community, and to build common ground with people. Now, if you want like an example of people who have done this, I'm going to go straight to television, because I can only think of one woman who has utilized this soft power skill. Of course, she uses other things, but she uses this in order to help her with her show. Well, it's no longer on, but I can think of one woman off the top of my head that every time you came on her show, you felt like it was a connection. You felt like she got me. You felt like she understood you. Oprah used soft power skill of likability and relatability, being able to relate to others, connect and communicate, and also build a sense of community, to the point where when they got up there, they were very they were willing to talk. They really have a conversation. They were willing to give up their deepest and darkest secrets because of the fact that they felt like she got them. And she used this all the time. If you came up there and something happened to you, she would automatically say, "Oh, well, I had that happen a long time ago." She's great at what she does. So Oprah is a good example of a woman who's able to use soft power and make sure that she's able to relate to people, and she was likable. Another soft power skill is women's ability to restore. Women have already been picked out, or we're known for having the ability to restore. This is the reason why when women make the best nurses, women make the best doctors, because they have the ability to restore. They have the ability to get a person in a space where this person is on the way to healing. A person, think about it like this. Let me back up, because I want you to think about it like this. When something happens, Most people go to their mother. The reason they go to their mother is because of the fact that the mother has the nurturing skills, that connection, the ability to understand where that person is coming from, the ability to nurture, the ability to allow that person to release emotions. So women have the ability to restore, and that is a soft power skill that women will use this all the time. I truly do believe this is not one underutilized skill for us. This is a skill that we use all the time. We're always in the business of restoring. This is the very reason why a lot of men try to gravitate towards women who don't mind being hospitals for damaged men, because we have the ability to restore. We also have the ability to support. So also think about it like this: when men are down in the dumps, when they're feeling low, they like being near women who they can lean on to support, because women are the best ego strokers. Women are the best people to come through to in order to get that boost of self-confidence, to get that feeling of, okay, well, I can get out here and start over again. Just because I fell down once, I can get back up again. Women are great supporters. Women have that ability to connect, to build relationships, nurture bonds, and provide emotional security. So this is a power skill I feel like most women use anyway, but that is a skill we need to make sure that we're using. And I want you to realize this live stream, y'all have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes, because when you're talking about soft power skills, we're talking about a powerful woman. We're talking about powerful women. We're talking about women who, instead of being the CEO of the company, she is the woman at home that directs the CEO. She's the woman at home that guides the CEO and helps him to create programs that are going to be beneficial to women. She's the one that creates the charities so that you can get help and give to the needy and to the poor. These are the women we're talking about, because what's celebrated in society is the women who actually use hard power. What's celebrated in society is the woman who's the boss babes, the alpha females, the chicks who run CEOs. That is what's celebrated in society, and that's hard power. Soft power is not celebrated because it seemed to be soft. It seemed to be weak. And I want you today, if anything else, I want you to understand that soft power is the greatest power that you're ever going to come across. The power that's indirect, the power that's influential, the power that is supportive, the power to build or destroy communities. So another underutilized skill that has really, this one's been on my mind a lot lately. If you know, you know. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this one's been on my mind a lot lately. I posted about it on Instagram. One a skill, a soft power skill that women are unaware of and is underutilized is the ability to identify unique brands of femininity. And let me explain myself. One of the things I realize is that women are so conditioned by social media and their friendship circles or even social circles that they don't realize that you are thinking that there's only one version of femininity. You're not understanding that the brand of femininity that you have has to actually play into not just the feminine energy, the feminine in you. It has to play into the personality also. And let me give you an example, because I want to make sure I explain this very well. I want to be thorough in my explanation so that you leave here with an understanding. Women who have the ability to understand that there's unique brands of femininity, understand there's more than one way to skin a cat. And what I mean by that, if you were to cater to your man and your catering to your man looks like this, it is cooking, it is cleaning, it is running him a bath water. And I would look at it, oh, that is her brand of femininity. And I would, oh, great for her. As long as it resonates with her, as long as it's something that she desires and wants to do, more power to her. But that's not necessarily my brand of femininity. When I see or hear cater to your man, I absolutely hear hiring great help. That is catering to your man. Ordering his favorite foods. That is catering to your man. Making sure his life is easy around him. That is catering to his man. Either way, we are still both catering to our man. Our brand of femininity is unique, and it's unique to our personality. I could never ever sit here and say that I am completely passive in femininity. And that is a feminine trait. But I can also say that I am an influencer. I am influencing, and that is femininity, and it's still feminine. You have to realize that the social media, your friends, all have their own unique brand of femininity. And you need to stop looking at it as though it's going to be a one fit all, because it's not. This is a soft power skill when you recognize and understand that her femininity is going to fit her personality. It's going to be displayed differently than mine. And you need to be okay with that. I'm not sitting up here saying, oh, well, just because she wants to cook and clean and she wants to cater, that she's wrong and she's not feminine. I look at the woman who says she wants to cook and clean and cater, and I say she's still feminine. You need to look at me when I say I'm not cooking, I'm organizing. I am making his life easy by hiring great help. I am making sure that he has great snacks and great food and that he can have and come to a home of peace. I'm still feminine. Just because it doesn't look your brand of femininity, it is still feminine. And we need to get out of this mindset that everybody's brand of femininity is going to look alike. See, this is power in itself to recognize that everybody's femininity has to match their personality. So this way, you won't constantly be trying to put yourself in a position or in a box where you don't belong. But this is understanding, having a great understanding of feminine power and utilizing your soft power as a feminine woman. Another thing that we need to realize and understand is that a soft power skill that women have is the ability to recognize the energy that they put out. There's an expression that I was raised upon, they taught this all the time. And I think it was a way to say, you don't want to be that, or you don't want it to happen to you. My grandma would say all the time, live by the sword, die by the sword. And what does that mean? That means those who live by violence tend to die by violence. And why does this relate to soft power skills? It relates because you need to have an understanding of the energy that you put out. Remember this, if you go about your day, your day-to-day, your business, your personal life, I don't care what it is. If you put out energy of being loud, combative, and even violent, why are you surprised that you receive that back? I'm not. Have this soft power skill where you recognize the energy that you put out makes you more powerful. So if I go about my day, I'm combative, I'm angry, I am violent, you will receive that back. And that is power in itself to have that understanding. Another soft power skill that women have is they have transformative powers. Now, I don't know how much self-help you ladies have been involved in or how much you've done for yourself, but women have transformed the self-help industry. And the reason for that is because women have an innate ability to not just create clones of themselves, but they have the ability to encourage people to be or go to the next level. This is the reason why they have transformed the self-help industry to $11 billion a year. Just because of the fact women have transformative powers. They are able to go in, and since they pay attention to energy, they're able to communicate, they're able to restore, they're able to go in and they look and pay attention to all these factors in order to help people level up and become the best versions of themselves. This is the reason why women lead in that self-help industry. They lead there because they're using their soft power abilities and skills to be on top and be number one. Another thing that I want you to take in mind that is one of a great achievement for a woman who understands soft power skills is the ability to understand yourself. I always talk about you being the assignment, and people are like, what are you talking about? Like, am I not supposed to care about other people? Yeah, but not more than you care about yourself. You're supposed to care about other people, but not more than you care about yourself. And honestly, it's an impossibility for you to actually care about more people than you care about yourself. Isn't that just like make you want to scratch your head? Having a true understanding of yourself makes you powerful. Having an understanding of your own weaknesses, your own strength, your own abilities, having an understanding of your needs and your wants and your desires is a power within itself. Because what we are living in, we're living in a time where people are walking around like a chicken with the head cut off. They don't understand who they are. They don't understand the power of being a woman. They don't understand all of the beauty that comes with being a woman and the value that they bring to people's lives. So having the power of understanding is a soft skill that women need to use, utilize, and to make sure that you have that. It will help you overcome. It will help you be able to live your life of desires. It will help you be able to be and attract the right attention, the right people in your life. Once you have that soft power skill of understanding. Another soft power skill that women have, women are great communicators. They are great communicators. Women are great communicators. The only thing that holds women back when it comes to communication is a woman's lack of ability to listen. Having the ability to not only communicate, but listen, that is power in itself. Having the ability to be quiet and recognize that when someone is talking, if you're both talking, no one is listening. If you're both talking, no one is understanding. If you're both talking, there is no resolution. Having the ability to communicate and listen to others will make you powerful. All right, so let me pause here and see what everybody's seeing in the comments, but we need to realize that soft power is the underutilized skill that all women have access to. All women have access to this skill, but the thing is, the reason why women don't want to use soft power, it has been glamorized to use hard power. Most of the time when you go to social media or when you're talking to your friends, how many times are people celebrating the people behind the scenes? How many times are they celebrating the people who influence the movement? How many times are they celebrating the people who whisper in your ear? Are they always just celebrating the person who's in the front, who's doing the hard work? Are they always celebrating the person who's in improving mode, which wants to make sure they're on top and number one? Or are they celebrating and looking at it from different perspectives? Are they? I would say, and want to put out there that I'm quite sure that most people are celebrating the people who are proving, the people who are in the struggle, the people who get it done. They're not celebrating the people who whisper the dreams or who inspire the people to make a move. They're not celebrating the people who are on the charities. They're not celebrating the movement behind the scenes that are created by the women who use soft power. All right, so let's see. Happy Friday, PedestalWife. How are y'all doing? Hard power is fire for fire. Yes, baby. Hard power is fire for fire. Soft power is bees to honey. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Yes, I remember I was never an Oprah fan, but I do remember every time someone came on her show, it's like she kind of connected with them. She figured out, she was able to read very well, which is a talent that is soft power that women need to understand. You need to know how to read people. You need to learn how to read their energy, their body language. Understand that even the clothing they have on their body tells you something about that person. So how do we adapt to our soft power in the world of boss bees and babes? The thing is, we don't try to even compete with them. We continue to run our own race. Remember, our brand of unique femininity, that is what we're going to revel in. We're not going to sit here and worry about or try to get them to see the error of their ways and not realizing. The thing is, it has been proven. There's science behind the fact of use with hard power with women. women constantly using hard power, not only does it affect your energy, it affects your mindset, it also affects your hormones. That is something, the conversation a lot of people don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about those years of being a boss bee or a babe. And not only are they lonely, not only are they dealing with hormonal problems, or not only are they dealing with issues where they don't know how to let someone in, not only are they dealing with the issues of not trusting a person, not only are they're dealing with these things, but we're not having a conversation. They're being celebrated, and let them continue to be celebrated. We're not going to worry about if they want to continue living their hard power, because the results and the science and the numbers say there's something that they're going to have to deal with. A pedestal wife, cater your man, hire great help. LOL. That's true. Me catering to my man is different from another woman's femininity. She may resonate with running bath water, cooking him something, putting his favorite meal in front of him, or refilling his drink. That is her catering. My catering is him coming home to a house of peace, him ordering his favorite snacks and making sure he has all his favorite drinks that he has access to in his little refrigerator. Or making sure I hire great help so that he doesn't have to worry about when things are going to get done. When is the person going to come out here and mow the lawn? It's already done. He doesn't have to worry about it. That's my form of catering. When is the housekeeper going to come? I hired a great one. She's going to make sure things are spotless. I hired a great person to make sure that we're going to have a great menu to be made. That is my form of catering. It does not make me any less feminine just because I choose to cater to my men in that way. The thing is, instead of I don't worry about being judged, because that is what my catering would be. And that's what my femininity represents. That's what my feminine brand is. I don't worry about that because I decided to get a man who saw that value and saw the femininity, and he saw the brand that he liked. And that's what we have to do as women. We have to realize if you're dating a man and this man, his idea of brand of femininity is to be for you to be a cook and for you to clean and for you to run his bathwater and for you to do these little things, and that doesn't resonate with you. It's not a part of your personality. Then that's fine. That's fine. Because everybody is, welcome to their opinion, and I want everybody to live their best lives. So I would say he wouldn't be the target. You would get a guy that's going to look at the brand of femininity that represents you and your personality, and you would go and be with that guy, run off into the sunset and be happy. That is what you would do. I'm completely with the statement when it's being mindful that your brand may not be another's. I only look at other brands to see what I can be inspired and incorporate in mine, nothing else. Honestly, learning soft power is like learning to deal with natural hair when all you know is using a relaxer. It's an entire unlearning and relearning, but it's fulfilling and worthwhile. Yes, it absolutely is. It's absolutely is. And it's because the reason a lot of women don't understand soft power is because hard power is celebrated. Boss babes, boss chicks, alpha females, those women, if they operate in hard power, they are celebrated. That is what you see. That is what a lot of even men don't even truly understand what they're asking for. They might want that. They might desire that. And there's nothing, and I wouldn't say nothing that I would want to do to change their mind. I'm not up here to persuade or tell a man you can't have what you want. You can't have what you desire. I just may not be your cup of tea. And that's okay. Move on to someone else who is. Someone else who understands my brand of femininity and sees the value in me and loves what I bring to the relationship. That is the key. That is a secret sauce. And that is a part of your soft power skill, recognizing, having an understanding of this is not going to work for me. It's not my job to make it work. It's not my job to push it, to pull it, to prove. It is my job to be who I am authentically. It is my job to have an understanding of who I am so that I can get what I desire in my life. So I can understand why most women don't have an idea of soft power skills. They don't understand it. And they have no idea just because of the fact that it's being pushed right now on social media. I can tell you for facts, it's being pushed one way. So when I tell you my brand of femininity, it kind of shakes you all up sometimes. it shakes you up, not realizing that regardless of how I'm presenting my femininity, it works with my personality and resonates with me and helps me be the best version of myself. That is best for me. And I suggest, instead of following everybody else's brand of femininity, instead of utilizing hard power, I suggest you start getting an understanding of soft power. Honestly, soft power is so much more. Like, I feel like that I would be up here for hours going on and on talking about soft power, because there's so many wide ways that you can utilize it in your life, and you can get the things that you want out of life. Let me explain to you something that, if you've been following me a while, do you know this? Listeners, people who listen will always be able to pick up on energy, will always be able to pick up on that connection, will always be able to pick up on the thing that they need in order to read a person. People want to be heard. We live in a society where people are on their technology, they're on the phones, they're on technology 24/7. They don't know how to disconnect. So if they get around someone who just no technology, don't mind listening, and just that's all you're doing, you can have doors open to you just because of that. And being able to listen creates a genuine connection, creates interest, creates a person wanting to get to know you and wanting to get closer. So just utilizing that and realizing that you can use soft power in your life, in your day-to-day. And this is something I use in my business too. This is the reason why I am not one of those, I ain't gonna say the only, but I am one of those women who use soft power in the business. I can be a feminine business owner. I don't have to use hard power. I understand that as long as I'm trying to fight fire with fire, I will continue to burn my house down. But if I decide I want to catch more flies with honey than vinegar, I will always not be seen, and everything will be indirect, and I will influence behind the scenes. See, another thing with women is that women have been taught that if you don't get credit for it, no one sees it. And this is the power of soft power skill. When you have an understanding of yourself and understand who you are, you don't need people to see it to get credit. You don't need people to see that you're moving behind the scenes. You don't need people to see that you're living your best life. You don't need to see that. You need people to see that everything you desire, you receive. And that is power in itself. Do you think how wonderful it is to be the woman who can whisper in a man's ear and she helps build communities? Do you think how powerful it is to be that woman who can whisper in her man and her friends in her social circle and change the dynamic of women and how women are moving? Do you think about somebody? Let's go ahead and go over the people that, because we have to go in history, because a lot of women aren't using soft power as much as they need to be. But let's talk about women in history who've used soft power. How about Marie Antoinette? She was born at a time where women were not meant to be or supposed to be leaders. And I did a video on her on my page. And it talks about how she used her soft power. She used influence. She used seduction. She used that dark feminine in her to entice men. And she wasn't even beautiful. She wasn't beautiful. She was witty. She was charming. She knew how to get men to crave her. And let's think of another one. Here's one that you probably never thought of that used soft power, is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a nun, but she became a legend. And she used her soft power, and she did not use hard power to get to build the legacy that she created. She was able to speak to people in a way, to connect with the people in a way, and inspire people in a way that people wanted to help her. They came near and far to kneel and help her with her endeavors. That is power. To be able to motivate and to inspire and to get people to move in the direction that you want them to go. I would prefer to be the woman who utilizes and uses soft power versus a woman who is directing traffic. All right, so let's see what people are saying in YouTube. Always dropping gems. Thank you. PedestalWife. So we adapt to operate in soft power by finding those who appreciate, understand, and value it. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're not going to sit here and put ourselves in a space where we are draining our energy, where our mindset is shifting, where our hormones are just going and running amok. Because that's what's happening. Now, a lot of the women don't want to talk about the boss babes, the alpha females, the boss chicks. They don't want to talk about how they're having hormonal problems. They don't want to talk about where their body is fighting itself, because they're in a space where they're constantly using hard power. They're constantly using domination. They're constantly using fire and force and threats and economic power to get what they want. When women who understand soft power, you're indirect, you're influencing, you're unpredictable. You're also playing the long game. Ding, 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 ding. Hello. I play the long game. I've always have. That's one of the things that is a soft power, to play the long game. You don't need instant gratification to feel powerful or to be seen as powerful. And this is the reason why women don't understand the power in soft power. They don't understand the skill and the influence that you have when you utilize it correctly. I need women to recognize the power within them and realize you don't have to conquer the world like men do. You can be powerful in it and be a woman. You can be powerful in it and be a woman. And you can direct, destroy, empower, inspire communities. But we have to realize the power that we hold in ourselves. You can't get here unless you go there first. PedestalWife coming with that game. Thank you, babe. Jackie Kennedy, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Cora Perrell, Michelle Obama, Princess Diana, Meghan Markle, and more. And these are all women who use soft power. These are all women who understand indirectness. These are all women who understand catching more flies with honey than vinegar. These are all women who understand when you decide to light things afire, right? You decide to light it afire, and you're going to constantly play with fire. You're going to constantly, the thing is, since you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So don't be afraid or ashamed or confused when you end up dying by the fire. Because as long as you're playing that game, believe me, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And what energy you put out, you will receive. So make sure you're very cognizant of what you're doing and what power you're using within your everyday life. This is the reason why I prefer soft power. Yes, I do prefer inspiring, influencing. I prefer the long game. I prefer influencing emotions, influencing people, inspiring women, empowering women, recognizing energy around me, and restoring where needed. But these are all soft power skills. I suggest that most women get on to cultivating their soft power skills. And if you're new to this and you haven't heard of this before, you need to really get up on, watch this video. Of course, this is going to help you. It's going to be an introduction into soft power skills, but there's some more information out there. And if you definitely hit me in a DM, I'll give you a book. And also, I do have a course that's actually going to go in deeper detail of this. This is in my femininity course, the Feminine PedestalWife, which drops tomorrow. Today is the very last day to get in on a discount rate of $65.99. After tomorrow, it will be $150. And that is it. It will never be this low ever in life. It has too much content in it. And I understand the value that I'm going to be putting out in the world when I put these videos out here. A PedestalWife said, my former coworker always loses her hair every 3 to 6 months. All that yelling and bad manipulation got her hormones acting off. That's true. And they won't talk about it. They won't talk about how they're losing their hair. They won't talk about how they're gaining weight and it's hard for them to lose weight. They won't talk about the high blood pressure. They won't talk about the strokes and heart attacks. They won't talk about diabetes. They will not talk about how being a boss babe or alpha female or a boss chick and running on hard power is affecting their body overall. They won't have this conversation because they want to act like it doesn't matter and it doesn't exist. When I'm telling you, there's actually science and research that backs up what I'm saying. The type of men that hard power women say they want are the type that I attract because they don't want another man. They want someone to make them feel like a man. And it's absolutely correct. A man doesn't want another man. So when a woman is operating that hard power skill, she's only going to get men who are feminine, who operate in soft power skill. And she's not going to be happy because most women at our core, we're feminine. We want to be with a masculine man. We want to be with a man who is a mover and shaker of the world. We want a man who actually has his stuff together. We want a man who's high masculine energy. We want a man who's ambitious. We want a man who knows his own mind, has a plan. So she's not going to be satisfied because she's developed her hard power. She's not going to be satisfied with that type of relationship, and it's going to be disappointing to her. But they don't want to have this conversation. And like I said before, women get the most support when they are coming from a perspective or perception of hard power. They do. They absolutely do. And there's nothing we can do about it. This is the way the world is made. I say instead of focusing on it and realizing even if you are indirect, even if you are influential, even if you are unpredictable or you have long-term goals, even if you are your unique brand of femininity, don't concern yourself about the people who don't fit that narrative or fit what you need in life. Don't concern yourself about it. Just be you. Get an understanding of who you are. Develop the soft power skills that you need in life. And that is to be influential. That is to be likable, because likable goes a long way. That is your ability to restore. That is also your ability to transform, understand yourself, your unique brand of femininity, your ability to communicate, recognize energy, and to have emotional intelligence. Because I think that we do not realize how powerful it is to be able to read a person and have a great understanding of their emotions and being able to acknowledge that. This is one of the powers that women have. Women, if I was to get up here right now and I was to be sad and depressed and upset, a woman will be able to pick up on that, even if I'm not saying I am sad, depressed, or upset, because women have that soft skill of being able to recognize energy. And if you have any semblance of emotional intelligence, which means you have the ability to manage your own and discern others, you will be able to pick it up and you will acknowledge it. Understand, acknowledging it is the power in it all. And what I mean by that, you acknowledging that maybe I was sad, depressed, or angry, or whatever it is that you're sensing from me, that is the power of a woman. A woman being able to acknowledge that and giving a person emotional security so that they feel like they can have a conversation with you. They feel like they can connect with you. You don't know how you have just impacted that person. You don't know how you change that person by just acknowledging or being able to pick or read that they have some issues going on. That is important. That is a skill. That is powerful. And then when you take that and utilize that within your life, when you're that intuitive, you're that have that ability to read people and be able to acknowledge whatever they're feeling, whatever they're going through, baby, you don't know soft skill like I know soft skill. And I suggest if you don't know, it is time to get an understanding. It's time to get in class. It's time to read. It's time to get in spaces where you have this understanding, because you don't understand the power that women have. We lose power by trying to operate outside of our own natural soft power. We lose power by trying to be a good man when we can be a good woman and be powerful in it. Women have been known to build communities, destroy them all in one breath. Women have been known to inspire men, to influence a man to go out here and be more than what he started out to be. Women have been known to do and start charities to make sure that the poor and the underprivileged are taken care of. Women have so much power in their little pinky, but it's being underutilized because we only are addressing one way, and that is hard power. We think the only way to get something done is to burn it down. The only way to get something done is to be dominant. The only way to get something done is to force. The only way to get something done is to threat. When sometimes all it is a whisper in the right ear. That's soft power truly. Some women want to learn how to put out the fire physically. I want women to learn how to whisper in the ear of the firefighter. I want women to learn how to whisper in the ear and have multiple men be able to put out the fire. I want women to learn how to whisper in the ear and have multiple men decide to buy a new house to replace the house that burned down. I want women to understand the soft power that lies within you, and it currently is dormant. It's dormant because of the fact that women are not using soft power. Women are trying to be dominant. Women are trying to be manly. Women are trying to dominate men instead of allowing and influencing and persuading and getting them in a space where a man will crave and do the things that you desire in life. That is soft power. All right, so let's see what everybody's saying here. Influencing, inspiring, restoring, seducing, attracting, adapting, persuading, seducing, nurturing, suggesting, all are soft power skills. Right, Braille? Absolutely. And guess what? The beautiful thing about us being women and having soft power skills, there's actually more to that. But I feel like we would be up here talking forever about other soft power skills that are there. And believe me, this conversation is not dead. I'm going to continue the conversation. There probably possibly will be a part 2 to this. Soft power feels really good in your body and spirit as well. I find it amusing how men respond because they're not used to women exuding this. It's a powerful feeling. Yes, it's a powerful feeling to know that when you go somewhere that you're exuding that soft power to the point where men are like, have you ever seen like snake charmers where they're memorized, they're magnetized, and you're attracted to the person who's doing the charming? That is powerful in itself. To know that when you walk out your home, that you have this soft power to magnetize, to have people craving, to have people wanting to hear or sitting on the edge of their seat to listen to you. That is soft power. This is the reason why we have to actually have a great understanding of it and start utilizing. Stop thinking that the only way to get something done is if we dominate someone or force someone or threaten someone. Doing it in that manner is only going to start a fire. And you know what I say about fires? You just end up burning your house down. And instead of burning your house down, let's start whispering into the ear of the firefighter. So let's start whispering into the man that can buy the house or replace the one that burnt down. Let's start whispering and creating and building communities and inspiring people and transforming our people, the people that we hang with, because you can influence people that you hang with currently. Even your friends, you have a level of influence that a lot of women don't even think about. You have a level of influence as long as you're willing to own your unique brand of femininity. You have a level of influence. Even right now, me having this conversation on social media, me live streaming this conversation is a level of influence. Even though it's small, it seems small. It doesn't seem very big. It doesn't seem like it can get out to a lot of people. It is still influence. And I need women to realize that regardless if you're online, if you're on social media, in your neck of the woods, in your area, and where you're at, what you're currently doing in your life, you have the ability to influence. I just need you to own your own brand of femininity and have an understanding of yourself so that you'll know what you're trying to inspire or influence in the first place. Because it's an impossibility to actually tap into that soft power skill if you don't even have an understanding of who you are anyway. You don't have an understanding of, what you want, what you desire. You're still in the dark. You're still trying to figure it out. And if you allow the world to continue to tell you this is what is appropriate, this is what you have to do to be seen, this is what you have to do to be heard, you'll continue to walk and be what social media, what society, what is told of you, versus actually having an understanding of yourself so you can go out here and create your own life that you want, the life that you desire, the life that you want, the life that you're going to live the way you can be the best version of yourself. France is a soft power country. Yes, it must be hard for kids who have hard power parents. I would imagine it is. I would imagine it is. And PedestalWife, you definitely brought that up. I didn't bring it up, but the soft power and hard power terminology, it was created by Joseph Nye. It's really a political term, but it actually, honestly, it relates. It relates. You can see where hard power works with masculine energy, masculine power, and soft power works with feminine energy and feminine power. And I would assume it is hard for parents who only utilize hard power, because they would have, they're not going to actually understand the skill of being able to being a diplomat. That's what you can sum it up as, right? We can sum it up as being a diplomat. And as you know, diplomats, or being in politics, as we know, people who are in politics, they are not direct. A lot of times they'll say something and it actually means another thing. And if a PedestalWife, that's actually ironic, because we actually had a conversation about the 48 laws of power. We're actually reading that in our PedestalWife group. And one of the things that brought to mind is that when you think about politics and you're thinking about them using soft power skills, they normally are telling you one thing, but they mean another. And that is soft power in itself. And that is being indirect. That is also a skill that is underutilized with women. Women truly do believe that we have to be direct. We have to tell everything. We have to wear our heart on our sleeves. We have to make sure they know this or know that, instead of realizing there's also power in silence. There's power in being silent. There's power in saying less. There's power in letting someone tell or have them communicate, have them lead the conversation. This way you're able to get an understanding and read a person easier when you be quiet. So there's power in saying less. That is a soft power skill that you have to utilize. You have to know when to be quiet and when to talk. But that is all that I have for soft power skill. I just want you to realize utilizing soft power skills is not weak. And I don't want you to think it's weak. I want you to understand that just because it looks weak to you because of the fact there's ways being presented, just because on social media tell you it's weak, it's not. Just because boss chicks, boss babes, alpha females, they're celebrated because of the hard power they utilize, doesn't mean that soft power is any less. Honestly, I would actually say that soft power is more powerful than you can ever imagine. And so if you have any questions, we're going to go ahead and give any questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Yes, thank you. Happy early birthday, Brill. Thank you so much. Y'all, my birthday's on Monday. I'm excited. I will be 41 years old. 41 years old. I'm so happy. I'm happy. And I'm happy and blessed. I'm happy and blessed that I can, spend my time empowering, inspiring, and informing women. I am so happy that because of the fact that I use my soft power skills in my own day-to-day life, that I can build these, I can create, inspire this type of business and inspire women to hear a different narrative, a different perspective. Maybe if I say something that will open your mind to these skills and help you to realize that femininity isn't as weak as they portray it. It is a superpower that you're born with. It's your birthright to have. And I want you to be able to utilize it. I want you to be able to realize that, yes, it is great for the woman who wants to be the CEO. More power to her. But it's even better to be the woman who encouraged, inspired the company in the first place. It's even better to be the woman that inspired change within the company. A lot of you all don't realize, even these big names, billionaires that people like to talk about, like, let's go ahead and talk about it. Bill Gates. A lot of us know his name, right? A lot of us understand, and a lot of people admire and envy his money and the billions and the money he makes. But nobody talks about Melinda Gates. Nobody talks about all of her foundations, all of her charities, all of the things that she created behind the scenes. Nobody talks about the conversations that she had with Bill that actually went public, where she talked about how she inspired him to put more women in places of position and power within the company. They're there because of Melinda Gates. But hey, nobody gives her credit. Nobody gives her flowers for her being and using her soft power skills effectively. She just changed the face of a company and put more women in places of position, of power. But only person who's going to get the credit is the woman who's the CEO, not the woman who inspired the man to put the woman as the CEO. But that's okay. It's not a competition. I just want you to realize how impactful a woman who understands her soft power skills can be, how impactful and how she can inspire and change the face of corporation, the faces of business, how she can change the face of politics just by a whisper in the ear. And some of you don't realize that, or realize how powerful women are. Some of you don't understand or want to acknowledge that just because a man is in a high power position, do you realize that sometimes it's something his wife said that made him want to implement some of the things and you get some of the benefits and perks from it? Do you realize that sometimes some of the people who still have a job is because the wife said something and she whispered in their ear, and baby, you got a job today. You didn't get fired. But most of the time that's overlooked. Because women want to be the next best man, because hard power is so celebrated and so pushed upon us that you don't realize you can either be the person that's working hard in the front and on front lines, or you can be the person behind the scenes that wield more power to move or direct a nation. But that's soft power skills for you. A PedestalWife said, how have you noticed me using soft power in our current environment and dating and inside? Do you think this is hurting or helping our current climate? Men using soft power skills. I would say a lot of men are using soft power skills nowadays. Some men are definitely operating in their feminine, and them operating in their feminine and wanting to be a good woman is affecting the dynamic of dating. But this is the reason why we can't be focused or deterred or just distracted by those men, because there are other men who are absolutely operating in hard power, in masculine energy, and those are the ones that need our focus. But yes, there are some men that's operating in soft power skills, and they're looking for a woman who's going to be the next best man. And it has affected the dating and dynamics. And you can see that. I can see that. It's very prevalent. The thing is, we just can't lose any sleep or lose any focus concerning ourselves about them. We're just going to let them go out here and be what they be and get what they get and not concern ourselves with them. A PedestalWife said, yes, women want all the recognition today. It seems that they forgot that the hen who rocks the cradle rules the world. Absolutely. And I would say that too, because when you go on social media, how many times you see women so braggadocious, constantly like, oh, I got this, I got that. And I'm like, I'm happy you got it. But it's because the reason you're posting it is because you want attention. You're still operating that hard power. You want attention for your success. You want attention for your accomplishments. You want attention for your accolades. And I don't operate in that manner. I realize there's power in soft power. There is power in me softly and quietly becoming a millionaire. There's power in me softly utilizing my base and inspiring the people that are behind me, the women that are behind me. That is power in that. There's power in me not needing the attention or validation or accolades or accommodations in that manner. But women do have an issue. They pursue power to pursue attention. so that they can say, look at me. I am powerful. I have this and I have that. I am successful. And doing it in that manner, you will get the same results back. Realize, since you are operating in that power of looking for attention and hard power and trying to get attention and want credit for things, you're just going to attract a guy that's in his soft power skill, that wants to, he admires the success, he admires the accolade, he admires the attention. And that is what's going to attract him to you. The thing is, what we put out, we get back. And women don't want to recognize, realize, or have an understanding of that. That is the reason why I tell you, and I keep telling you, and I want you to remember this, because something I remember that my grandma told me over and over: if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. What you get out, you will get back. So if you get out, you put out violence, you'll get violence. If you put out, hey, I am a provider, I am a protector, I am, a person who can take care of you, you're going to get someone who wants that from you. And you should not be ashamed, confused, or disturbed, because that is exactly what you're putting out there. That's exactly what you're going to get back. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And that's truth. There's so much truth and power in that statement that PedestalWife just posted. And I want women to understand and empower themselves, inspire others, so that they'll get an understanding of what soft power skills are. So women will stop trying to be a good man. Stop trying to operate in hard power. Stop trying to realize you don't have to do it in that manner. And honestly, I would honestly say that the results are better over here versus doing it in a hard power way. The results are better over here. You don't lose your hair because you're stressed out. You don't get overweight because your hormones are going crazy. You have time for yourself. You have time to relax. You have time to be at ease. You have time for yourself. You have time to go on that self-discovery journey and get an understanding of who you are. You have time versus where you don't have time over here. When you're operating hard power and you have time, you're trying to dominate, you're trying to destroy, you're trying to force, you're trying to start a fire. Pedestal, I said, I hate that women think that their hard power accolades give them feminine worth. They don't realize that those things are not attractive to masculine men, respected but not attractive. Absolutely. They absolutely do respect them, but it's not attractive. It isn't. This is the reason why I feel like this video is important. These type of conversations that we're having about soft power skills is important, because a lot of times when people are talking about soft power skills, they are talking about the workplace. And I want you all to realize that you can utilize soft power skills in your everyday life. You are able to influence just by being here. You're able to influence just by being here, because you're going to listen to the information and then you're going to relay it to the people that surround you. And then if you talk about it enough, if you make sure you bring up the conversation enough, if they don't start getting aggravated with you, because you know how people are when they start hearing some truth bombs, they start getting itchy in their spirit. They get upset a little bit. But if you're bringing it up, you can cause and plant that seed of influence where they're hearing a different perspective and perception of this. And they're like, oh, I never thought about doing it that way. This is the reason why I do what I do. Because I know even if it's a micro influencing that I'm doing, because I'm not doing it to the level of if I had a whole bunch of followers or subscribers or whatever, but I am micro influencing to the point of when you get out of here, this will be something that you're going to hear, something you may relay to others, and something that may inspire you to actually seek more information so that you can apply it in your own life. And then on that micro level, I've influenced you to think about soft power skills. And that is worthy of it. And just from that one person, I influence that one person. You influence another. And then that next person influence another person. And see, it's like a domino effect. This is the reason why, even if it's on a micro level, you're still influencing in some form or fashion. And that is one of the powers of being a woman. We have the ability to influence. We have the ability to connect and create communities and read energies and get an understanding of not just ourselves, others. And that is power in itself. Think about a woman who's able to go into any space and she can read people that are around her. That's powerful. That's powerful because you'll know how to interact and what to say and how to communicate with each person. That is power in itself. This is the reason why having to understand those soft power skills is going to go a long way. And it's not just going to affect your personal life. It's going to affect your business, your friends, whatever you have currently going on in your life. If you perfect these skills, you won't regret it. You will not regret it. Itchy in your spirit. Yeah, some people get itchy in their spirit when you're hitting home. When you getting it, you driving them truth bomb, some people get itchy. And you can kind of tell it. I can tell when someone's like get itchy in their spirit. They start fiddling and moving around and kind of can't sit still. And they want to say something and you can tell it, you can almost see the thoughts moving about. People get itchy in the spirit when you hit them with truth. And this is the reason why self-care power skills are important. And let's go ahead and bring it back, just not to other people, because y'all know I'm super family oriented. My family is everything. That's the only reason I learned how to cook. I ain't gonna lie. I learned how to cook so I can actually feed my children nutritious meals. I did not learn how to cook to have dinner on the table by 5. I actually learned how to cook so I can feed my children nutritious meals and then they can go out in the world and be healthy. That is the reason why I learned how to cook. Oh, I lost my thought just that quick, y'all. But bringing it back to bringing it back to children, because that's what my point. I lost my train of thought for a second there. That bringing it back to family, having that soft power skill where you can read your children is imperative. It's important. This is the reason why you need to start working and cultivating that soft power skill. Being able to read when your child has a bad day. The thing is, when I be reading about some of the things that kids go through, and I've seen it personally because I was a school teacher for 3 years, these kids show things that are not right with them, and they affect their surroundings too. If you are able to read and you perfect this soft power skill, you can read your child to see when something is wrong. You can read your child to see, oh, maybe someone's picking on them, or maybe someone's bothering them at school, or maybe they're upset or having an identity crisis, or maybe they're upset because somebody is picking on, or they're ashamed about their bodies. There's so many things that go with kids that not having or developing or cultivating a soft power skill where you can read the energy, read the room, checking the temperature of the room is important. These are all soft power skills that women have, and they exude and are able to do it easily when they're absolutely in their feminine power. And I have learned it and seen it myself in my real life. I've seen it myself when I could tell my daughter was off. I could tell that something was wrong. I could tell she was upset about something. She wasn't her normal self. But when you are operating in your hard power, and you're trying to dominate, you're trying to set these fires, you're trying to do things by force and threat, you don't recognize that energy. You don't recognize when your child is struggling. You don't recognize when the people around you are struggling. You don't recognize when you're in a relationship with someone and they have one foot inside the relationship and one foot outside of it. This is the reason why you have so many women talking about, oh, Cradle, there was no red flags. And I tell you right now, and I'm going to say it again, I'm going to stand on it because I'm 10 toes down there, like my children would say. There's always red flags. There is nothing or no one can get past a woman who's developed this soft power skill of reading energy and reading people. There is nothing. There is always something that shows or indicates there's an issue, indicate there's going to be a problem later on, and you need to pay attention. But the reason why we don't recognize it as women, we have limited ourselves and muted our superpower, which is being able to read the energy, being able to use our intuition and listen to our gut. You know, your intuition is like your gut, your primal internal clock that tells you, oh, there's something wrong. And we got little grown women walking around ignoring that signal that's telling you to leave, to go, to put distance between you and that person. They're ignoring it. And if you've ever watched, there's a show, I can't remember the name of the show. Was it? I think I can't remember the name of it. It's a show about survivors, where the survivors be talking about the situation and things that happen to them. One of the things that caught my attention is that one of the women always say this. This is one of the things that women always say that kind of drives me crazy and makes me realize I need to say these things more and get into to making sure women understand their feminine power. She says this one thing. All of them mostly say this, that they felt like something was wrong, that they felt that they shouldn't have went. They felt they shouldn't answer the phone. They felt that they should have put some distance between them and that person. They felt it first before anything happened. But what did they do? They ignored it, because we have been taught that our intuition are just feelings that don't matter. Not realize it's our superpower, and you're muting a skill that was God-given. It's a birthright. How dare we ignore something that God gave us to make sure that we are safe? But it's a soft power skill that is being looked down upon and saying it doesn't matter. You even got men there to tell you or invalidate your feelings because they don't understand the power, the soft power skill that is intuition. A PedestalWife, did you know that nursing started as a male-dominated field? Yes, because everything started out as male-dominated. Instead, only thing didn't was teaching. A teacher, women have always mostly been in teachers, but everything in the beginning started out as male-dominated because women were not, they weren't on the front lines. They weren't expected to work. They were expected to stay inside the home and take care of the home and the children. Today, women have taken over the profession due to our soft skills. Unfortunately, the hard work involved is better suited for men. Woo! Go ahead, PedestalWife. Go ahead, PedestalWife. Because, you know, I hate to invalidate someone's profession, but my thinking is along the line of yours, that yes, women are great at it because they're soft skills, but yes, it should be the hard work that nurses do. It is something that is better suited for men now. These nurses, doctors, even though doctors, women are great doctors. They have great soft skills. They have the ability to get the patient to open up and connect with them and communicate their issues. A PedestalWife said, hard power skills and accolades garner respect. Respect is a man's love language. Deep down, all women want to be cherished and loved. Who cherishes a woman because she's a boss? Make it make sense. Baby, I've been trying to make it make sense. I'm not understanding. That's probably because I understand feminine power. I understand the soft power skills that women have. I understand that if women were to actually cultivate and utilize their power that is God-given, birthright given to them, and it's easy to cultivate versus them trying to be harder, trying to be more dominant, trying to start these fires, they would be better off with utilizing soft power skills. You would be better off inspiring. You will feel better and resonate with yourself and feel content. This is the reason why women are walking around and experiencing so many issues. Like, I feel for women who don't have to understand or refuse to get it, because of the fact that there will be long-lasting effects for women being and dealing with hard power. Masculine power is hard power. Feminine power is soft power. A PedestalWife said, I've used soft power skills in a life or death situation before to get to safety. It's very powerful. It's absolutely is. One of the things I stop myself and make sure that I do is that if I have a feeling about something, I do not ignore it. If I have a feeling about something, I'm not going to ignore it, because it always comes back to bite me in the bum. So I do not ignore it. That is a soft power skill. Do not allow the world, do not allow men to tell you that your intuition doesn't mean something, because it does. It's a soft power skill that is given to us by God. God gave it to us, our birthright. And it's easier to cultivate the ones the skills and power that God gave us than to actually cultivate the ones that are outside of our nature. Just because you have access to hard power doesn't mean you need to utilize it and use it in your life. You can absolutely be successful in your personal and business and family life by utilizing soft power skills. But that is all I have today. I don't have anything else. Just remember, today is the last day to get the Feminine PedestalWife for $65.99. This is the last day. I will never, ever, as long as I am offering courses online, offer it that low. Because I already know the worth of that. It has over 40 pieces of content for the Feminine PedestalWife. So get it for $65.99 a day. This is the last day. Tomorrow it will be available to everyone who's already currently purchased it. You don't have to do anything. It'll be available on your little timeline. And I will see you all on the next one. You ladies have a great day. See you later, PedestalWife. Y'all have a great one. Bye.